A mean crossover, a sexy Euro step, or a nasty ankle breaker are one of the most spectacular things you can see in basketball. These NBA players have done those moves more than anyone else. Here are the 10 best ball handlers
Kyrie
in
number
NBA
one off the
history.
bat. Argue with your mama.
Number 10, Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah
Isaiah
Thomas
number
was
10?
one of the fastest point
Hold on,
guards ever,
hold on.
and he kept the ball so close to the ground when he dribbled that it was extremely hard to alter his dribble
Number
and affect
10?
where he wanted to go. Zeke's ball handling was shifty,
bop.
it was creative, and it seemed like
Pull
he
up.
was never out of rhythm.
Mop.
He carved defenses up with his lightning quick first step, and then he'd either take a slaloming drive to the basket, make a crisp pass to a cutter, or a stop and pop J over a retreating defender. He did all this damage in the era with
And
hand
number
checking,
10,
and when a lot of
though?
ball carrying we see
Zeke?
today was illegal, which made it harder for small
Come
guards
on,
like him to dominate.
Keep it real.
And yet, dominate is exactly what he did. Number 9, Steve Nash. Phoenix
He got Nash with Zeke. I don't know how I feel about that, bro. I don't know though. Maybe.
Suns of the
I remember watching
mid-2000s were the
Steve
most
Nash. Steve
attractive
Nash got
team
that
in
yeah,
all
yeah.
of basketball.
Steve
And it
Nash
was
got that
all
yeah,
because
yeah.
of one scrawny, long-haired white dude named Steve Nash.
That's tough.
And while the media called the Suns' offense 7 seconds or less, Nash's teammate Quentin Richardson eloquently called it trying to keep up with this little mother effer. Nash wasn't athletic by any means, but he dribbled the ball perfectly going full speed, and he changed direction so quickly that he was one of the most evasive point guards ever.
But better than
Nash's
Isaiah.
hand-eye coordination was off the charts, and he'd often make one-handed passes while running super fast,
You gotta show me
not
some more
leaving the
highlights than
defenders
that, man.
even
You
a
gotta give me
split
more than
second
this,
to
man.
react. Everything he did in motion.
gotta show me
and
why
yet he
he
was
a
one of the
better,
most
like, you know what
efficient
I'm saying?
shooters ever, and one of the deadliest pick-and-roll facilitators. Steve Nash was a ball-handling wizard, and what he did on the court was often pure
Now the
magic.
passes-
Number 8, Tim Hardaway. Standing at 6 feet, Tim Hardaway
Okay,
had
I
a
can-
low center of gravity. He was really quick, but also quite stocky, which made it easy for him to bump off defenders. It was a combination that made him extremely tough to guard and propelled him to 5 NBA All-Star selections. But what made Tim Hardaway famous more than anything else was his killer crossover. Many players had an effective crossover, but Hardaway's was arguably the fastest. Before he injured his knee, his change of direction was so quick and snappy that the defenders could never react in time to stop it. His change of direction was so quick and snappy that the defenders could never react in time to stop it, even though they all knew what was coming. Number 7, Chris Paul. Chris Paul is called
Oh, Chris Paul don't got no handles, bro. What you talking about, bro? He just threw Chris Paul in this video. Chris Paul don't got no handles, game. Stop it.
point guard for a reason. Simply put,
No.
CP doesn't have any deficiencies in his game. Despite only 6 feet in height, he is incredibly strong and fundamentally
no handles,
sound,
gang.
which made him into one of the best defenders ever at his position. On offense, he's a floor general par excellence. Paul is one of only 6 players to notch 10,000 assists in the NBA.
He ain't got better
routinely
assists than-
made
he ain't got better
below-average
handles
players
than
look
Isaiah
great
Thomas.
with his
That's cap.
passes. A pick-and-roll maestro. He
That's
can
cap.
dissect every defense and punish every defender who overextends or is late in coverage.
Cap.
Or he can just finish himself because he's a phenomenal shooter as well. And everything is
He
set
got
up
him
with
over
incredible
Isaiah
footwork and
Thomas?
ball handling. It's amazing to see how Chris Paul can create
Now, let's
separation
keep it real in the comments, man. Come on, man.
for a shot seemingly every time he wants
I
to,
love CP.
even though he's usually the shortest player on the court. Number 6, James Harden.
James?
There are many people who are always
Now,
ready
what
to
is
criticize
we-
James
now-
Harden. He's not a great defensive player. He dribbles
Now
too much.
questioning-
He never made it far in the playoffs. While there is some truth to all those
Jordan-
arguments,
James
no
Harden
one
had
can dispute
handles,
that
but
James Harden has mastered the
wasn't
game of
like
basketball like few other
Zeke?
players. If I had to describe Harden with one word, that word would be artist. Because what James is doing with the basketball in his hands is art in its purest form. He basically invented the step
got better
back
handles
three, which
than
is an
Zeke?
unguardable move. You can only hope that he misses. He has a bachelor's
That's
degree
not
in
ha-
crossing
bruh.
people over, a master's in
James Harden got one set. Boom, boom, boom. Between the twin legs cross. That's it. He ain't got no Z. He not a better handle. Look, bro. He not, bro, stop it. I don't know what type of rankings this nigga got
stepping to
going
the
on.
basket and a PhD
He
in drawing
tripping.
fouls. He is not dominating with size. He's not overly fast nor athletic, and yet he's certainly among the best 5 offensive players who ever
fact that
played.
he had
And while
Zeke
the
at
ankles
10
of
is
poor
crazy.
Wesley Johnson have probably recovered, his psyche is probably still tormented by that Harden crossover, which is one of the most disrespectful drops in NBA history. Number 5, Jason Williams.
Okay.
Jason Williams'
Not
ball
top
handling was
five.
off the charts, and there was nothing he couldn't do with the ball. They say that Williams was allergic to simple bounce passes, and that's why he often passed with his elbow, behind the back, through his legs, through the opponent's legs, and without looking. Jason was incredibly fast. He would get into the paint in a flash, and most often, he would fake the heck out of defenders trying to guard him, with Gary Payton as the most notable example. Because of his flair and attractiveness, he was immediately a fan favorite, and as a basketball fan, you simply had to love him. Even though his numbers were average, and he was never even close to being an all-star, White Chocolate played with such passion and style, and was one of those players that you'd always pay a ticket to see play.
Now, Jason
Number
Williams
4,
sounds like
Steph Curry. Steph Curry is widely considered the greatest shooter to ever play.
I'm just so mad that he had Zeke at 10, bro. Like, what the fuck is we talking about, bro? Like, is this nigga on drugs? He gotta be on drugs.
And it's only a matter of time until he breaks Ray Allen's record for most three-pointers made. But it's not just the sheer quantity of made threes that makes Steph into the GOAT of all shooters. What separates Steph from great shooters like Ray Allen or Klay Thompson is his uncanny ability to create off the dribble and gain opportunities to shoot with his phenomenal ball handling skills. His ability to hit pull-up threes in transition after a step back or a crossover and from all possible angles is what makes him unique. James Harden is perhaps a more efficient dribbler because of his physical strength. Kyrie Irving is more aggressive in getting to the cup, but Curry is like a queen in chess. He's the only man I've seen who can dribble the ball forwards, backwards, and laterally all equally well. The way he moves across the floor, the ease with which he slides in all directions, controlling the ball like a yo-yo, transcends everything we've seen in basketball. Number 3, Jamal Crawford. If any NBA player played NBA
Jamal
basketball...
at 3? I wonder who he got over Jamal Crawford. But let me know y'all top 5 ball handlers in the comments, bro. I got Kyrie, Jamal, AI, Zeke, Curry. I'm gonna keep it a bean face.
Like it's just another game of pickup.
That
it
boy
was Jamal Crawford. Jamal was skinny. He didn't play much defense, and he wasn't keen on passing the rock once he got a hold of it. But he could score with the best of them, and that was because of his exceptional ball handling skills. His shake and bake is one of the prettiest moves in NBA history, and it looked like it came straight up from some and one mixtape. When he danced with the ball, everything else faded away, and it was like watching figure skating with a basketball. And Jamal never slipped, while the opponents often looked like they were on ice. The defender could be both bigger, stronger, and faster than him, but it didn't matter. Whoever was guarding him, Jamal could make them look like a fool in a split second. Number 2, Allen Iverson.
Okay.
Yes, he was a ball hog who often opted for tough shots when he could have passed. Yes, he was skinny because he never went to the gym. He played ISO-heavy hero ball, which wasn't pretty if you favored pass-first point guards of the 80s. Iverson always was and remained a player that based his game on pure instinct.
That's all we know.
Nothing in his game made you think, oh, he must have practiced that move a lot, because you know he didn't really like practice that much, and yet there was nothing you could do against him. Most of his 26,000 points in the NBA came off the dribble, as he would very often simply ignore 4 of his teammates. His ability to drive to the basket was unparalleled by any player of his era.
He ain't number 1 though.
No matter how tight the defense was and how many players the opposing coach sent to help, it usually didn't matter against Iverson. We thought Tim Hardaway's crossover was the best and fastest ever, but then AI showed up, crossed Michael Jordan, and Hardaway immediately seemed less cool and less dangerous. With the mesmerizing combination of speed and ball handling, the answer was the most feared guard of his era, even more so than Kobe. Kobe would always get his numbers, but Allen Iverson could embarrass you, break your ankles, and your spirit. Just ask Ty Lue. Number 1, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is the best ball handler the NBA has ever seen. He is completely ambidextrous, and it doesn't matter to him if he dribbles with the right or left. Kai is incredibly quick and has a ball on a string with such ease, and it seems like his dribbling is completely improvisational. In fact, his dribbling looks like an Uncle Drew commercial, but it happens on the grandest stage and against the best players in the world. I still feel sorry for you, Brandon Knight. But not only is Kyrie the greatest ball handler in NBA history, he's arguably the best below-the-rim finisher ever, with a layup package deeper than the Mariana Trench. And while there are many players
he gotta show good highlights
finish effectively with both hands, what sets Kyrie apart is the ability to jump off both legs, which is extremely rare. LeBron, for example, has a trampoline in his left leg, but I don't think I've ever seen him jump off his right. That's why Kyrie is almost impossible to block when he drives the basket, because the defender can't take anything away from him and basically has to choose his poison, as Kyrie has counter moves for everything defense throws at him. Irving has secretly become a true master of pick and roll and one of the best shooters ever at his position. Hesitations, spins, crossovers, you never know what trickery he's going to pull out of his sleeve next. And that's why it's a real spectacle to watch him play.
But I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all, bro. He did a disservice with these highlights in this video, bro. Because Kyrie Irving got some nasty ass handles. We got to watch a Kyrie Irving video. Yeah, we got to watch one. Yeah, we got to, bro. Let me know in the comments who y'all got y'all top 5, though. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. And I'm showing this video. Y'all already know what's going on, man. Okay.